Greetings and welcome back to Stellaris, my Commonwealth of Man playthrough. I realized when I was editing the video what got trimmed in that power outage when I lost that 3-month period, so I'm going to go over that now. I went over a certain mechanic of the game that is kind of critical to the playout of this game. It looks like Alright, that is the Ursk pollen. If that one gets discovered again, I'm going to get really annoyed that this guy is just sitting here attempting to recloak. But, as I was saying, so if we go to the reputation of people that we have information on, you can see my genocidal is up to almost minus 1,000. What I did was I checked and saw when I purged one population, one of those Latrepians, it is adding 5 for every population I destroy, which means it takes 5 years to make up for killing one pop. Well, there is an alternative way to decline species. Without setting a purge type, in other words, this guy is, well, he's currently unemployed, but he is not undesirable. But you can manually decline a species. Now, it takes 20 months to get rid of a species this way, because you're only gaining 5 progress a month. And I was going to test and see what impact that had on the genocidal modifier for the other empires. So I started with a Sildor in that period where we lost the footage, and so he's got 80 progress. In 4 more months, in May, the first Sildor will be declined manually. And that will mean we will get to see what impact that has on the genocidal modifier. And actually a good one to test, because a lot of these are just about capped out. Yeah, that one's at almost 1,000, and as a matter of fact, since we purged their species, it's adding even more. But the one I'd been testing on was Citadel Research Institute. So they have a negative 454 right now. And in 4 months, we will see what that is modified to by just regularly declining a species rather than purging.
Construction complete.
Camelot Station has finished its construction queue. I believe it was upgrading. I had started upgrading a lot of my stations. This one is a forge world. So let us start with the alloy processing facilities. I'm keeping my view here so I can see when that damn fleet pops back up.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Nano-vitality crops. Infusing crop strands with small amounts of nanomachines helps create a type of produce that is ultra-resilient, and the chemical composition of which can be tailored and altered during its entire lifetime. Also means we're eating nanites. Let's go ahead and get Clone Army. It's the cheapest one. We'll have it knocked out in 6 months. United Latrepian Domains ended their rivalry with the Tender Zun. That will help our relations just a little, because they're no longer considering us allied to rivals. It's still a huge negative because we've been purging their species. They don't think we're as genocidal as some other people do, despite the fact it was their species we were purging.
Ships refitted.
The Palpatine has been fully upgraded. It'll have to upgrade again when we get the improved thrusters. But now that the Palpatine has fully upgraded, we can send our Chancellor out to deal with some of the people who are annoying us. Let's have a look at their core system. We don't know enough about the planet, other than it's called the Core, and it's a Gaia world, I don't think I want to crack that world. Gaia worlds are nice. Boundary is a Gaia world. That's just an Alpine world. Another Alpine world. And another Alpine world. There's their fleet. Is it coming back in for another go? Well, we'll go for another go at them. I'm getting sick of them popping back up. Everybody but the science vessel. We're going to deal with you and your frickin' starbase. Now, the Palpatine is going to head down this way. Now, unfortunately, because of the way the espionage system works, we're not really going to know anything about this planet until we are able to conquer it, I don't think. I mean, I can see the population and the jobs that they are working, but that doesn't tell me if this thing has rare resources. And I can't survey a colonized world, which I don't understand. I should be able to survey to get the information.
Battle debris secured.
United Kresh Commonalty have started building a science nexus. Crash and burn Kresh. We've got a little bit more to dark matter propulsion. Why aren't you cloaked? Go back to Bergolfa. Bergaffa. I keep calling it Bergolfa. There's no L in that word. You guys repair pretty damn quick. Strike Force Scylla has run across some space amoeba. You know what? Take them out on your way. United Latrepians broke their migration treaty with the autocracy of Rakaron. We will meet you in the fields of battle. We have established sleeper cells in the Glossworhinian. We could destroy our economist to go further. I don't think so. So now that we have the sleeper cells established there, we are going to start improving relations with one of our... I think we will go for the Miravandians first. Citadel is in good shape. And while we're at it, let's check the United Nations of Earth and see if we have built up our infiltration. No, it's going to take a little bit longer. It's going to take 7 months to get another point. So yeah, we may be there for a few years. Now let's check the Latrepians again. Making very little progress. It takes us about 4 months to get a point. So since we have 65 more points left to get, that's going to be 240 months. That's 20 years. Now they're at negative 0.75, and that actually correlates to them being at negative 4. So I need at least 4 points of increase. I'd have to be positive 3.25 for them to go back to being positive. So if we got rid of the research, change it to where they join only our defensive, that's only 3 points. We'd have to turn around and give them something. See, if we gave them some advanced resources, We could handle that. What about strategic? We could handle that. And a little bit of research. Not that much. That would be sufficient to get them positive again, but that would take 321 influence. I'm not sure it's worth the investment of influence at this point. There are so many other things I would rather spend my influence on.
Engaging enemy station.
Oh look, 3 of them have already fled. Just as soon as we came through. Now their Gauss cannons are going straight to armor. They're probably shooting our smaller craft. Oh, we blew up a battlecruiser. And now we are going to flip this damn station so they'll stop popping up at it. And as soon as we flip the station, I can send a cloaked science ship over here. In 18 days, he can recloak. Now my cloak level is now high. Did I not finish? No, I've got 1 more year before I get the better cloaking field. We are currently at negative 454 for being genocidal. And in 1 month, we will get rid of or decline the Sildor, and we'll see if that has any effect on that whatsoever.
Construction complete.
And I completely forgot about this battle. Terra Starbase has finished its construction queue. Thebes Station has upgraded. Not really much point in more habitation modules. As a matter of fact, if I do a Mastery of Nature, I can get rid of those habitation modules because it will stay at the same amount. Let's just put our stratospheric ionization elements into play here. It's still showing fleet combat. Why is it still showing fleet combat? We lost 4 corvettes and 1 corvette in Dragon, 4 in Gorgon, 1 in Dragon. Corvettes not easily replaceable to take out a battle cruiser and flip this station. But now we can send all of our fleets to here to enter orbit, and they should start repairing. Alright, it has been a full month. If we go to Ferdera, it has declined that Sildor. And checking Citadel Research Institute, it has not affected it. It is still negative 454. So that means declining a species, it takes longer, but it does not affect the reputation of you in the galactic community. That would have been a better option. A slower but better option for me to get rid of species would be to simply decline them. And I would not be in the mess I am now, where everybody hates me in the galactic community. We've got some Latrepians that will be declined next month, I believe. Let's, now we'll check them again in a month just to make sure. But yeah, let's go to Nagrama. Oh, there it is. Varba. We are declining a Latrepian there, and there's another place we're declining a Latrepian, Pildaris. So we'll be declining 2 Latrepians next month. Let's check our relations with the Latrepians. Negative 727 and negative 519. Scylla has been fully repaired. Since they are at Wallius Station, why isn't Strike Force Kraken? Why do I have them highlighted? That's supposed to have merged with Strike Force Gorgon. There we go. That was one of the reinforcements, apparently, that hadn't caught up with us quite yet. Now, back to what I was trying to look at, which was Strike Force Scylla. Let's go ahead and delete Kraken. Wallius Station is where we want all of these built. There's no gateway here in Wallius yet. So it would take a while for anything built elsewhere to get to us. That's got quite a few destroyers queued up. Alright, it's been another month. So the first one we want to check is the Citadel Research Institute. Still negative 454, so there's not a month delay on it. It did not matter. Negative 726 and 519. So declining their species isn't the same as purging them. My problem was using forced labor. I should not have done that. Now if we look at our decline, one of our places is declining a species, there's no chance of escape either. It's not listing a chance of them escaping and going elsewhere. We are actually just removing this species.
Fleet action underway.
Oh, my other transport fleet is ready to merge. They popped back up in this system. They're down to 1 battlecruiser and 4 escorts. Zarkland's Pilgrims is just sort of loitering right here. Let's see how well they handle outposts on their own. Now back to my fleets. I want to make sure they are all entering combat here, including the Juggernaut. They fled, but we took out another battlecruiser. I saw it get destroyed. Even though this says... that report said that I didn't destroy anything, and I actually didn't look and see what I lost out of that. Alright, everybody go back there. Now that you are able to cloak, come in here and research these projects.
Engaging enemy station.
Well, that is not working out as well as I'd hoped.
Science Division report success.
They are extremely ineffective against this. I thought it was just an outpost. It is just an outpost, but it is tearing them up. Sentry array construction. The light of suns blinds, and the darkness of the void hides. Only when we learn to travel faster than light did we learn just how little the light reveals. Today we begin to end this amaurosis of ours. The sentry array we prepare to build in the Tanab system will one day become a stalwart panopticon, our eye on every star. So let's continue upgrading the sentry hub. Looks like we need some more alloys. I'm just going to let this fleet stay. Maybe they'll withdraw. I don't know. I'm going to see how they do. They did start working directly on the hull, it appeared. Gene banks. Gene banks filter and curate available genomes for deployment in clones. Well, one of the cheaper ones, Tomb World adaptation, even though we aren't really that interested in keeping Tomb Worlds, we're going to terraform them. It's still tech points. Star Realm of Shar is in a migration treaty with the Interstellar Picarians. Genlock Conclave is also in a migration treaty with them. And the reinforcements we churned out should be there in about 2 months. Okay, they withdrew, didn't lose anything. They did some hull damage. They had focused arc emitters, so not as effective as I had hoped against the outpost of the other fallen empires. Too small of a fleet. They'll be back in 3 months. I don't think we'd assigned a home base for them. We don't really have a home base over in this area. I guess for now Deneb will do. We have a lot of ships assigned to Deneb though. Reminds me, can I assign a home base for... No, they don't even show up as fleets. The Colossus and the Juggernaut. How well defended is this planet? 528. It's not really something I want to destroy at this point. Plus, I believe that is going to turn everybody against me even further. I'm just holding this in my pocket for now, in case I need it. Their fleet's back. Yep, that guy is just sitting there, trying to recloak every 4 months and getting decloaked. Where are you from? Star Realm of Shar. You know what? Get the hell out of my territory. Pegasus and Gorgon have been repaired. That leaves Dragon as the only one that still needs repairs here. The Doomsday is churning out some reinforcements for Gorgon and Dragon. Oh, Dragon just got fully repaired, so everybody is fully repaired here. Alright, let's select Dragon, Gorgon, Pegasus, and have them follow the Doomsday. And we are going to take on that starbase.
Fleet action underway. Construction complete.
Okay, we've gone back to our orders at least. Doesn't look like we took much damage. Took a little bit of armor damage from kinetic artillery and small stormfire autocannons. We didn't end up destroying any of their escorts, but they're down to just 4 escorts at this point. Euchromia has finished switching over to a climate optimization station, as has Wallius. Now, who took the damage? Gorgon. Gorgon, I believe their ships regenerate. No, they have cloaking field generators. But Gorgon can handle being down a little bit of damage right now, or a little bit of armor.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Advanced Titan hulls. The latest generation of Titan hulls have optimized structural integrity, fields, and improved bulkheads. Looks like all we have left are the repeatables, dark matter propulsion, and the robotics line. Now, I could knock out robotic workers, but that's going to make the next tier of robots and robot modification pop up here. And we are getting progress toward dark matter thrusters still. We have a lot of ships that are just armor and not shields. So let's get matter compression. It would take 4 years to get this, but we'll get started on it anyway. Actually, Amy Keeler would be a better one to be here. That knocked 2 months off of it.
Engaging enemy station.
What? Where are your allies? Nine days out. Why does the Juggernaut always jump so damn early? Are you guys coming in or not? Good Lord. 16 more days. Alright, this is the last time the Juggernaut leads the charge.
Battle debris secured.
10% more to our dark matter propulsion. Glosterhenian are in a research agreement with the Interstellar Prokarian Coalition. Allied Multics is in a migration treaty with the Interstellar Prokarians. Yep, the Juggernaut fled. I was afraid of that. It took out one outpost before it ran away. So the kinetic artillery, then the medium Gauss cannons, whirlwind missiles. Did the Doomsday have impenetrable shields? It should have. It should have had, if this stacks, it should have had 105% shield hardening. But no whirlwind missiles did shield damage. That meant they were still bypassing shields. So maybe that design doesn't work the way I thought it did. Shield hardening is a new one on me. I wasn't sure how it stacked. I'm going to have to research that because the missiles would have been one of the early things to impact. I mean, I don't think the kinetic artillery completely got rid of my shields before I got in range for missiles to hit me. I'm going to have to watch a few more battles to see how it works. We took this system. So this fleets will return to here to heal. And unfortunately the vessel that was repairing, up there, they're back. It's just the 4 escorts. We'll heal up before we deal with them. They'll take some damage dealing with other stuff. And we do have some other fleets in the vicinity, I would hope. They're just not being very participatory. But we did lose a lot of Gorgon. 4 more corvettes that we just churned out for Dragon. And 4 frigates for Pegasus. But nothing really big. Nothing bigger than a frigate. Yeah, they flipped that system pretty easily.
Construction complete.
A long-expired set of covert codes has just been reactivated. They are linked to operations we previously carried out in the United Nations of Earth, from where it would seem a former operative is trying to report back in. Message is light on details, but the code carries markers which signify intelligence on key political figures in a foreign empire. Our security advisors confirmed that the codes were valid until quite recently, but their expiry means such codes are open to compromise by foreign powers. There's no telling if the operative or their messages are genuine. Ready an extraction team, we can interrogate them after the fact. Euchromia is ready for its last torpedo battery. And Wolia Station has the Fleet Academy. Two other things I don't really care about. Let's replace the listening post with a crew quarter. I'm putting a few things in motion. I'm going to attempt to extort favors from the United Nations of Earth. A combination of blackmail and extortion could bring useful leverage to our diplomatic envoys. And I'm going to use my attaché Vic Stem. The other thing I have put in motion is I have decided, when I was looking at what makes something eligible for cracking a world, you can do a test fire candidate on an uninhabited, barren, or molten, frozen, or toxic world. So I decided to go over here to this uninhabited system close to my enemy here and do a test fire. So I'm sending the Palpatine over there so that I can show everyone else what I am capable of if they do not fall in line. I have also demolished 2 holdings here on Dantariga. I got rid of the satellite campus and Vigil Command, so my defense platform cap is dropped. I haven't been building anymore. That's fine. The satellite campus gave me a little bit of research, whoop-de-doo, so that I can build Overlord garrisons on 2 of their other worlds, and I had some idle fleets of troops that I am sending to land on those planets. Hopefully that will get the United Latrepians back under control and drop them down to not losing anymore, and possibly I can start improving, because I have noticed that they have started harming relations, unfortunately, faster than I am improving relations. So I'm hoping between these and building up my fleet strength again so that my strength compared to my vassals is a little stronger, that I can actually get them to start getting positive again. And I moved the spy that was in the Allied Multics over to improve relations with the Citadel Research Institute. The Gen Lot and the Autocracy of Rakron I can't really do much about, but we are in the process of integrating the Gen Lot, so they will cease to be a problem soon. There, it tells us the progress. So we have 8 more months left, and they will be integrated. After that, we can start integrating one of our other protectorates, perhaps the Kelnudarans. They have an arid world. That's all they really have over here. They also don't have a gateway, but they do have a station where I could churn out a constructor if I don't get their constructors, and use that to build a gateway there. I'm also moving Medusa down here. It is finally at full strength. It's coming down to Siga, and I think I have one fleet that was headed back. No, I changed my mind. I was going to send Pegasus back, but I changed my mind on that. And I'm actually, as soon as the Doomsday is back, going to assign the Pilgrims to be home-based at the Doomsday. It'll be back in 3 months. Let's see where these guys go next.
Construction complete.
Alright, now how long is it going to take you to get over there? It's going to take 4 months. I think it's 3 to charge and 1 to fire. It's going to take him 4 months to get over there. So it's about 8 months before I get my test fire done. Camelot Station has upgraded. I don't really need more anchorages right now. I have plenty of surplus naval capacity at this moment, so I'm not going to bother with that. I was just getting it in a position so that I could upgrade it again to add another building slot. I want the one for bureaucrats. It's about 10 years away from the archaeology project being completed anyway. Clandestine strike team we sent to the United Nations of Earth have returned with great haste. It seems there never was a disavowed operative. Instead, what the team found was subtle evidence of a plot to expose our clandestine operations. Perhaps this was a scheme intended to further human goals. Perhaps an external body sought to meddle in our affairs. In either case, our containment measures were aborted just in time to avoid exposing our intelligence operations, past or present. Miravandian Coalition has declared Tendrazun their rival. Alright, they are now moving towards Delcor. So the fleets we have in here, I think we will go intercept them in Delcor. It'll take us 2 months to get there. I think they're a little faster. Soran is in a migration treaty with the Interstellar Picarian Coalition. The Rishethian state has declared us a rival. Their president is human.
Construction complete.
We built our research station in Condrit 3, so now we are on our way back to be in position to build a habitat. And we got 10% more toward dark matter propulsion, which means that researcher is done. He's still 3 months out.
Spaceport reports enemy contact.
United Nations of Earth built another gateway. Miravandian Coalition is in a migration treaty with the Miravandian Enterprises. Well, we destroyed another one. They're down to 3. Now let's head back here to repair. We lost a frigate in Strike Force Gorgon. Now where did that science vessel go? Change of plans. Research that project. Alright, they are fully repaired here in Deneb. Let's go ahead and send them back down here. We'll send them to do some bombardment and assist with retaking of Siga 3. As a matter of fact, Strike Force Medusa will also participate in that. Operatives within the United Nations of Earth are actively working to identify and pursue leads that could potentially be used to gain favors. We are pursuing leads.
Science Division reports success.
Dark matter cloaking field generator. This device uses dark matter to warp space-time around the vessel, making it incredibly difficult to detect. Okay, so the neutron sweep would go after soldiers and population and buildings, I believe. I don't think it actually damages the output of the planet. Let's go ahead and research it. We'll find out. Tomb World adaptation. Through comprehensive study of irradiated environments, we will allow our settlers to colonize worlds that have been devastated by nuclear warfare. Now this will allow me to settle the world before it's terraformed a little easier. Let's get command matrix for the fire rate bonus. Or no, we could go for the fleet command limit. It'll only take about 2 years. That'll allow me to boost my fleets even more. Now, do I have any of Gorgon's? No Gorgon ships are en route. The Moray also has a cloaking field generator. I've got to wait until these are churned out. Let's actually stop the further upgrades and just get these that are churning out right now so we can refit that. And that should get us queued up to basically do a refit around July. Now that will automatically up the stealth of our science vessels. So they're now very high. However, I believe these are still like elite exceptional grade 1, so they still don't have sufficient cloak to avoid being popped. I need at least 2 more points of cloak, I think. And the only way I can think of to get that is through an Ascension perk. Enigmatic Engineering would give me more cloaking strength. The Doomsday has returned at Bergaffa. Good. Not too far away from my front lines. Now that it has returned, let me select Zarklin's Pilgrims and set that as their home base. And since the Doomsday is back, I can go back to reinforcing some of these ships. Let's say no shipyard is available to build fleets just yet. Okay. And that's because he's in transit. Pegasus or Gorgon would not be. Alright, so we can get 2 rampaging cults out in a couple of months. And actually, instead of being at Bergaffa, since they're going here, let's move there as well.
Construction complete.
Thebes Station has upgraded. But I'm not really going to be able to do anything with it till I get an extra slot. I don't really need the capacity of fleet capacity right now. I still have sufficient. 24 days till it is in position to start powering up. Sold. Oh no, a human superior is up for sale on the slave market. Pegasus is repaired. It's getting in firing position. Strike Force Dragon is repaired. They have entered Yamek Singularity. They can take that. Actually, wait. Dragon and Pegasus are repaired. The two of them together should be able to handle this fleet. It's only 28K. One of them could probably handle it.
Spaceport reports enemy contact.
The Doomsday is now fully repaired.
Construction complete.
Gorgon is now fully repaired. And I'm a third of the way through powering up. It takes 3 months to power up, so in September I should be fully powered up. Euchromia Station built its last torpedo battery. We have a comm jammer, resource silo, hydroponics bay. I guess we can put a deep space black site on here. Wolius has its crew quarters. Let's replace the uplink computer. With a Titan assembly yard. Let's sell a little food and buy some alloys. Promising angle. A promising angle has been discovered which could be used for extortion purposes. Operatives are investigating.
Spaceport lost to enemy action.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Doesn't look like they took anything but shield damage. There's only 3 of them and we're moving to intercept anyway. Every time I leave the system, this thing resets to its regular position. It's halfway charged up.
Battle debris secured.
10% more of dark matter propulsion. Adnorum Imperium was given association status by the Allied Independent Systems. I don't plan on them being around too awfully much longer. I'll just wait here in Delcor. My fleets are about to intercept this one. Interstellar franchising. A focus on franchising allows even the most mundane planet to open thriving dynamic business, providing local jobs and increasing trade value. This reduces my overall upkeep from jobs by 5%. Alright, so minerals, I'm using 2646. That's really the only one that's going to have a lot of upkeep, other than consumer goods, which is 1840.55. And we are 6 years away from getting our last tradition. Looks like you're coming to meet us.
Fleet action underway.
The Molyneux Mining Industries have recalled their embassy. Genlot Conclave broke the migration treaty with the Star Realms of Shar. Oh, it's in the process of firing already. It only takes a month to fire it. They fled. They took out 2 frigates, or 3 frigates, and fled without being destroyed, unfortunately. Now they are all artillery and autocannons, so my shields are actually not very effective. It's my fully armored ships that do better against them. They shot down 111 strike craft and 89 missiles. But would you look at that? They still got through. At least the driller drones and flagella did. My missiles didn't get past the armor, but that didn't really matter at that point. I did enough damage to their hull to make them run. Alright, so you guys go back and repair. And this thing should, in theory, fire before October. Star Realms of Shar will guarantee the independence of the Great Heron Hierarchy. The CNS Palpatine. Oh man, that was nice graphics. Kogan Prime was utterly destroyed by the World Cracker on our Colossus. The CNS Palpatines gently rocking, buffeted by Kogan Prime's rupturing crust and unraveling magnetosphere, subsides as the Colossus completes its cataclysmic task. The sheer violence of a dying planet is difficult to comprehend, but the funeral beauty of Kogan Prime's molten core cooling in gelid space is undeniable. And when the month rolls over, we'll check everybody's reputation and see if... yeah, there was a science ship in here watching me from the United Latrepians. We're coming back to Vergolfa. Do we have your attention, denizens of the galaxy? The subject Genlot Conclave has been successfully integrated into our empire. At least one of our fleets has been forced to decloak. Oh, we have all of their science vessels now. Yeah, when we integrated them, we got everything they had. So we did get a transport and a constructor over here, as well as a tiny fleet that seriously needs upgrades. Let's do a quick rundown of reputation. I do not see any modifiers for me having a world cracker. Now, if we look at the Citadel Research Institute, it's only gone down 2 points on genocidal. Yep, no other modifiers. I had quite a bit of maintenance to do this cycle since I picked up the new Genlot territories and ships. I renamed the planet to Jenna. It was named after the system, Rapix 3. I'm in the process of shifting industry over to agriculture right now, and I've disabled most of the buildings because they weren't being used anyway. And there's no point in me paying maintenance on buildings that I'm not working. Now, I do have one person working an artisan job. They'll be shifted over to be the chemist when that gets taken out. And I checked the undesirables, and I only had 3 species down here that I was purging. I could not change from undesirable. However, what I could do is modify the species. So I am modifying them to a species that is merely domestic servants. Now, if I were to look here... No. Let's just create a new template so I can play around with it. Alright, we're going to make these guys Alpine preference. There we go. So that should give me a new sin to play around with. Now, if I set the rights on these guys, if I were to set them to undesirable, if I look at the purge types, neutering takes 10 months to get rid of. Displacement takes 4 months to get rid of. So none of these match up with the actual decline I'm doing, which is 0.2. So I don't believe it counts as a purge type. It doesn't work like displacement. But I'm not positive. It could be that they become refugees and go to other empires. But that's fine by me, because eventually this is all going to be my territory anyway, and any population left over that I don't really care for, we're going to stick on a habitats in a system, release the system, and use my world cracker on it. But anyway, the fleets that they gave me, I broke up into several little fleets that I am going to be using for reinforcements. I am just sending them back to different stations to do upgrades. One of them is getting upgraded here. I'm also having to upgrade the transport fleets and the constructor. And I just went ahead and straight up disbanded the science ship I had. It had a non-human as the leader, and that non-human did not show up in my pool when I disbanded the ship, so I'm assuming he went away too.
New species variant available.
So we modified the Bothrian. That pulled him out of a purge type. That leaves the Savelli and the post-Uva Zavani. So if we go to the Savelli, I can apply them to this template.
New sitrep.
Which is merely a domestic servant and not undesirable. And I went ahead and changed my default rights to have population controls enabled on other species. Star Realms of Shar built a science nexus. Now I do need to check one thing. I'm purging robots. That's the only thing I'm purging. So if we look at Citadel, negative 452. We will see when the month rolls over and it purges
Tracking
a robot,
spaceborne life form.
if that has any effect on them thinking I'm genocidal, taking out non-organic life forms. I renegotiated the deal with the Kel Nudarans. I'm giving them a lot of resources and research and even some advanced resources so that I can integrate them. Now that I've finished the integration for the others anyway. Yeah, we can't integrate them for 4 more years though. I was a little bit jumping the gun on that, I guess. So for 4 years, I'm going to be giving them resources, but that should make them happy at least. Now they do now have access to an additional holding. What do I really need? They've got very little farmers. 4 farmers, 6 miners, and 5 metallurgists and 5 artisans. That would do farmers and artisans. And this will do minerals and alloys. We'll put a mineral of extraction on here. Well, no, that will reduce monthly loyalty. Hell with it. It'll take over a year to build anyway. If it looks like their loyalty is going to be a problem, I can always terminate it. But right now they've got a huge surplus of loyalty. That will do a little bit to mitigate what I'm paying them, basically. Now, let's go to Citadel. Nope, did not affect... dismantling the robots does not affect genocidal. Sensitive information acquired. One of our operatives has secured an old data file containing human invasion plans for several foreign powers. Although the plans are obsolete and seem to be entirely hypothetical, there are several detailed scenarios that involve the arrest or execution of the target empire's political leadership. As the release of these plans could potentially be embarrassing for the United Nations of Earth, our operatives are ready to approach their government to work out a deal. We have successfully arrived at a mutually beneficial arrangement with our contact in the United Nations of Earth. In exchange for our discretion, We have been granted the promise of certain diplomatic favors in the future. Just one. Now if we go back and look at United Nations of Earth, we can immediately extort favors again. How many favors do we currently have with them? 2. Now maybe we should be more interested in setting up and doing that with people who have some serious political weight, such as the hierarchy of Moffith and the Star Realms of Shar. United Nations of Earth does have 74. And we've also dropped our infiltration level down a bit, so let's let it climb back up and worry about that at another time. And that's our only spy currently. Although I could stand to pull somebody out of here for now. We do need to start establishing with the Star Realms of Shar. And with the hierarchy of Moffith. We already do have a pretty high network here. Let's go ahead and start preparing sleeper cells. There was something I couldn't do here. Oh yes, I couldn't start the terraforming because it said the planet wasn't in my system.
New species variant available.
So we have the Savelli flipped over. That leaves one species to pull out of here. I thought we just pulled the Savelli out of there. We did. Okay, it just hasn't shifted up. It's the post-Uva Savani that we need to adjust. And I created one that basically just got rid of a 0-point modifier, them being conservatives.
New sitrep.
So that will be done on December 2nd. Pegasus is fully repaired. That does remind me, though. I need to upgrade Scylla. Gorgon is going to need to upgrade. And all of these are en route. That one's going to Polagar. That one's going to Shaula. Let's just go ahead and tell them all to upgrade when they get there. That one is going to Safe. And that should be all of my fleets that need upgrades. And basically I split these off into the ships that were going to be needed for certain fleets. This one is for Pegasus. It's a slew of reinforcements for Pegasus. The only one is... this one is split between 2 fleets. It's got Morays for Scylla and Gorgons, and more Gorgons than I actually need. I only need 9 of these. The rest will be extra reinforcements already made for when I lose more, because I will. Fortress Legionnaires has taken a long time to reinforce. Looks like their fleet popped back up again already. I think I'll just send... No, I'm not going into the system with that. And we have Medusa sitting over here, in case they come that way. Dragon is fully repaired.
New species variant available.
Here, the post-Uvani is taken care of. So now, the only undesirables should be robots. That one will shift up, and we'll just be purging the remaining robots. I could actually end up spreading these around when some of my other worlds are done with theirs, and start getting rid of some of these domestic servants that are still here that I need to get rid of because I have a severe crime issue currently. It also reminds me I couldn't do decisions originally. I need to end growth disencouragement. And we need to launch an anti-crime campaign. I don't need to declare martial law because stability is not an issue. But we'll end up shifting a lot of these servants off-world to be taken care of on other worlds. That will enable me to cut down on the crime here. But that's something I would take care of in my next maintenance cycle in January. Looks like they're going to Delcor again. Now that they are out of Lindula, Pegasus and Dragon are both fully repaired. We'll send them to intercept. Our spy master in the hierarchy of Moffith, Otto Becker, reports a drastic failure in his process for screening operatives. Word from the Moffith capital is that a warehouse proprietor has chosen to defect. It seems the warehouse proprietor has grown more sympathetic toward the culture and founding ethics of the hierarchy of Moffith in opposition to our own. Our screening process has failed in that it is supposed to rule out such flakiness. I'll just say get your house in order. This will slow down my infiltration rate, which is fine. It's only for a year, and it only has a 50% chance of warning them. So get your house in order, Otto Becker. Because I don't want to abandon the operation. I'd spend influence on it. I don't want to spend more influence on it. And we're already up to 100 infiltration already, so infiltration speed doesn't matter at this point. Plus, we're going to be getting a boost from this active reconnaissance we are doing over here that could offset that penalty. And we're not going to drop at all performing Operation Sleeper Cells. So before I do another operation, that modifier should have worn off. Change council size to 4 is the one that actually made it here. Looks like there's a lot in support of it. So it looks like it may end up happening, which would put the interstellar Picarians back in the running here. I already have 10 favors with the Star Realms of Shar. The Allied Multics and the Fel Null are the other two really high-priced ones there. That's not enough to cause it to fail. So what I'm going to have to do is keep an eye on this, and if I see enough people abstaining that it looks like it might fail, when I can end the session, I can do that and just go ahead and end the session so this fails. Another human superior on the slave market.
All sword ground elements are dropping on target.
We retook this system. They had bombarded the planet to where there was nothing left on it. We're going to reland our armies here to serve as a garrison. And I'm already moving my fleets to start taking some of their outposts.
Ships refitted.
Strike Force Scylla is now fully upgraded. How close is the fleet that was coming to Wallius? Oh, it was stayed in this system to refit. That's right. There are 7 mores, I think. So Scylla can continue its upgrades. I mean, its reinforcement. 12 would get me to 68, which would be 17 away.
Spaceport lost to enemy action.
Why are you shooting at the star? What did it do to you?
Engaging enemy station.
We got some more debris here. Yeah, we should flip the station before I get in here, so I'll just go ahead and tell him to move in to research. There, we flip the station. We'll pull back here for repairs. We did not lose a ship this time. We didn't take out one of theirs either, though. Now this fleet should be able to handle this outpost because it has been downgraded. It doesn't have the defense platforms. So we will send it to sweep that one. I didn't take any damage with Medusa either. And I believe Medusa can handle that one. So we'll hit this one and that one with Medusa. And then we should control enough that we could be able to push on with all three of our fleets here and take out this one and that one. That could stop them from being able to pop back up. Yeah, we took 5,000 hull damage and 3,000 armor damage driving them away. We did about 20,000 hull damage to them. And they didn't get past our shields here with this outpost. Actually, Dragon is healthy. Dragon doesn't need to... Dragon will stay in this system and protect this outpost. We got some research with our dividends this time. Of course, we'll burn through that pretty quickly. Yeah, we'll burn through that in about a month and a half. Yeah, it's still showing a question mark here as if it hasn't been surveyed, even though this system is currently under our control.
Ships refitted.
Looks like he's back already. Or he's built a ship. Nope, it's them. There's only one ship left. It must have lost the others in the emergency FTL. Or we blew them both up, even though it didn't say we destroyed one. Raprick Starbase has finished getting all of its shipyards. Let's just go ahead and have it upgrade. We could throw something else in that additional slot and it makes it a better defense platform. The construction ship has finished refitting. Now I could build a gateway here, but I'm planning on claiming that system. Why is it when I click on the gateways it's just going to flip me around? There are just so many. But I could build a gateway here, but I'm planning on claiming this system, and it's got a gateway there, and having gateways side by side could be a little annoying. But until I do claim that system, I have no way to get my troops over here. Now, unfortunately, you can't dismantle a gateway after it's built. But I do need a way to get over here. And after I build that gateway, I can get rid of this constructor. Maestro 6 habitat is now complete. That's going to be another refinery. I hadn't prepped a colony ship for this one. Don't I already have an Osiris? Agartha. That's a good one. And we completed the orbital ring in the Tanab system. And I don't believe I gave this constructor further orders. So that's the orbital ring around Flaxington. Dawnlight needs an orbital ring. But higher priority, I think, is Doran. So we will send the Stevedore to orbit Doran. I'm going to have to hold off because I actually want habitation modules here. I see another war has popped up. The Hisman Protectors have declared war on the Star Realms of Shar. I don't think it's going to go too well for them. Yeah, they're up against a huge amount of opposition. However, if they do cause some casualties to the Star Realms of Shar and their allies, that will drop their political weight at least. Glosrahenian Confederacy broke their migration treaty
enemy station
with the Federician League. Interstellar Picarian Coalition has stopped guaranteeing the independence of the Federation League. Garuda has been fully upgraded. This is the one that needs to bring some to Dragon. So we will have it meet up with Dragon. It'll be there in 3 months. And the Citizens Alliance of Orcam Fung broke their migration with the Vetericians.
ship refitted.
Alright, this is the one that needs to come this way and drop off some corvettes for the Gorgons. Where is Strike Force Gorgon? Has Strike Force Gorgon gone home? They have. They're in Deneb. Okay, so we will swing by Wallius. Take us 3 months to get there. And drop off the Morays and then go to Deneb. And our home base is actually going to be Deneb, I think. So after we drop off these Morays, we can have them go home. Took nothing but shield damage. We actually have a stronger fleet strength than they do. And now that we have that outpost, Dragon can relocate to Yamak Singularity as well. Caused a ship to go missing in action. Science ship that popped into Deathris. United Meravanium Imperium is in a migration treaty with the Citadel Research Institute.
Fleet action underway.
3 escorts and a battlecruiser versus 1 escort.
Engaging enemy station.
They immediately ran. No, they got destroyed. So we don't have to worry about them anymore. After you get that debris, research that debris. So now that their fleet is not popping around anymore, these two together is about 220. I think we can take out this starbase and then sweep across to this starbase after we repair. We have a new proposal, and it looks like I have another combat. Unseat Custodian, Commonwealth of Man. 200 more to veto it. 100 more to... in 4 months I could freeze it. In 8 months I could veto it. Who's proposing this? The Kesem Confederacy. It is time to put an end to the corruption of the current custodians. They must immediately be removed from office before they can do more harm to the galactic community. I'm not doing harm. Not through being a custodian, anyway. I've just been passing resolutions that actually were beneficial to everybody. They already went straight to armor with their kinetic artillery. So that means that they are striking some of our smaller ships first. Which is good because they do half damage against my armor.
Battle debris secured.
And we already flipped the system. Got a little bit more progress to dark matter propulsion. We did lose corvettes, cruisers, and destroyers in that fight. And that was just an outpost. Let's pull back here for repairs.
Construction complete.
Euchromia has finished its deep space black site. Let's see how much support unseating me has gotten. Really? Trying to make sure none of my vassals are voting for this damn thing. I'm beginning to think my hiccups and sneezing fits are entirely psychological somehow. I've been up for quite a while, eaten, been around the house, been sitting in front of my computer for a while, trying to figure out what was wrong with my internet. But the minute I get the game launched up and get ready to start recording, massive sneezing fits. Force 2 vessels to decloak. Alright, Garuda is ready to merge with Dragon. Medusa is fully repaired. Might suffer some losses, but I believe they can handle that base. Or maybe I should move them over here and just really... yeah, let's do that. Let's have all 3 of my fleets converge over here to handle this citadel. And why do I have a fleet in transit? It was obviously churned out by the the Doomsday. And it's going to take 3 months to get over to whoever it was going towards. Interstellar Pricarian Coalition is in a commercial pact with the Hierarchy of Moffith. So let me share with you what my Empire maintenance cycle kind of looks like at this point. So I create these hotkeys for things that will have population growing that I need to worry about. So over here on Procloss, we just had a Furbinite grow. So I have a spare Furbinite here as a clerk, and I need to shift it over to a world that needs it. Well, Jenna could use another enforcer, so we're going to resettle from Procloss to Jenna. That Furbinite clerk. Then I can remove that hotkey. Next one I look at, I just had a human at Bastion. In theory, I had a human grow here at Bastion. Yeah, they became a metallurgist. I don't really need them as metallurgist, so we are going to shift them off this world to another place that needs humans, like the bureaucrat slots here on Unity. And that was Bastion. Now let's see if they become a bureaucrat or stay as a metallurgist. They stayed as a metallurgist. I can fix that. But that's Bastion taken care of. I can remove that hotkey. Nagrama had a population grow. It was most likely a Praku. and that would automatically have them grow into one of these slots. Well, the reason I had this world as something I wanted to keep an eye on, because I was going to remove this, because now the only species that can grow are actual species I need. And it looks like we'll be growing another Furbanite, which this world looks like it needs for enforcers. Now, I have another Furbanite down here. Yeah, I need one more Furbanite at least. And I've closed off the soldier job, so I will eventually need a couple more. So I can remove that hotkey. And now that I've gotten the initial stages taken care of the ones that had population growth, I'm going to be going through my empire, seeing if any are about to grow, and if any need buildings queued up. If it's got less than 90 days, I'll queue up another structure if it's a place that can expand. This one's fine, but it's not declining a species, and I did move species over to all of my worlds so I could quickly decline species I no longer need. So I will be queuing up them to decline species as I go through these different colonies. This one is already in the process of declining. If it's up to 85 progress at least, I will move another population over here so that I can, as soon as the next 3-month cycle comes up, I will be able to start declining another species. Now that's the one problem with the way that declining manually works, is it will not automatically start declining another of the same species. It will just stop once it finishes declining the one pop you told it to decline. Dawnlight is good. St. Nat's Bull, not really any further progress I can do here. Doran is about to get an Ichnerval. Now, it already has Ichnerval as miners, so rather than worrying about setting this one up as a hotkey, what I can simply do is move one of the existing Ichnerval off so that this one that is grown will take its place. But I am going to remember that we are at Doran. Yeah, we're at Doran, and I'm going to check my mining stations first. Jackson Station could use a population. So we will have Jackson Station, go back to Doran here, and take one of my Ichnerval miners. And then we'll resume back at Doran, going through our colonies. Another thing I need to check for, which I had actually forgotten, is I do need to check for some of these worlds. I was getting rid of positions, and I forgot to check and see if any of them had people working as clerks that used to be miners or things that need to be moved off world. I've been pretty good about getting rid of them before it happens. Okay, I'm going to need another population over here on Mindos to decline when this Latrepian is gone. And I already know the worlds that I still have people on is the new one at Jenna. So we will transfer somebody from Jenna. And we can actually scroll down to the servants to get rid of one of them. Let's get the Sin. Actually, let's get the High Clear. This is saying that I could grow a regular human. Do I have regular humans still? That's something I will need to check. Grinstead can upgrade to a Habitat Central Control. And it does... Yeah, both Jackson Station and Grinstead can begin declining a species because I moved them over here. Proclaws can also begin declining a species, as can Bastion. This one will be done with its civilian fabricators in 20 days, but there's not really anything else I can do here. I've got the maximum number of districts. I've done Mastery of Nature. This one is just waiting on me to get the 200 influence so it can begin the Arcology project. Thebes is one I will be adding a hotkey for because I will be getting a human here. Well, I'll be getting the human in 1 month. One thing I could actually do is just transfer a culture worker. Yeah, rather than hotkeying this one. Here on Thebes, we can just resettle one of the culture workers over to Earth. And that will open up the slot for that human to grow into, since he'll be here in a month anyway. Now I'm trying to get these servants to pop up to be entertainers. There we go. Now restore jobs. Now stay as entertainers, damn it. I'm tired of them demoting down to clerks. Every now and then it will pull 2 of them down to clerks because it's like, well, you don't need these many amenities. I want these many amenities because the excess amenities boost my happiness, which in turn boosts stability because it's boosting my population approval rating. I want my stability higher. Yeah, Nagrama finished declining a population it had. We're going to make it Glear and get rid of the Glear here. We do have 3 Glear to get rid of. We're down to just 2 robots to actually get rid of. It says 3 because one of them has just been purged and hasn't been removed. We're actually down to 2 because it just completed purging one of them. It's starting on another. And this one will be done with the mining district in 1 month. I'm going to shift one of these city districts over to another mining district, because I only need 5 city districts, really. This world is eventually going to get an archaeology project. However, in the meantime, right now, especially with the glut of aliens that I'm slowly going to be getting rid of, I want them to be doing something productive. So I'm shifting most of my districts over to mining or agriculture until I start trimming these down, and then I will start shifting back into industry for this to become eventually a ecumenopolis. And now that I'm done with all of my colonies, and I ended up with no hotkeys because the few I was able to shift over. The only time I can't do that is when I have a world growing something I can't shift over or doesn't need, such as Furbanites. I can't get rid of an existing enforcer because that may create issues with crime, so I have to wait until that one is grown to shift it off. Same with some of these worlds that may be growing Praku or humans and not have slots I'm willing to sacrifice them from to shift over, or in the case of a world like Proclos that is growing things that it really doesn't need. Right now I have it growing with no specification. If it ends up with like a human, yeah, I could just shift one of the humans, like a culture worker, over to another world. But if it grows a Furbanite, there's really not much I can do with that. I've got to wait until the Furbanite is grown. Now that I've done all of my colonies, I'm going to go through all of my star bases and see if there are any of the orbital rings I'm going to do anything with right now. Alright, that one is doing its last building. This one actually, Thebes Station actually does have a slot, but Thebes Station is one that I don't need to add anything to right now. Although I am getting a little bit close on my naval capacity, and I have shut down several soldier jobs. I could go ahead and start building an anchorage just to have it. I can always drop soldier jobs if necessary so that I don't have a huge overabundance. But as I said, I am building up my Navy, and I will be getting more fleet capacity soon. I think Camelot Station will actually start on another orbital anchorage. After I've gone through all of my star bases and made sure that they all have something queued up, I go through my civilian ships, mainly the constructors, and see if any of them need orders. I believe I need 150. Yeah, this one's going to be building a habitat, so I need 150 influence for it. This one likewise is also in position. This one is in the middle of constructing something, and this one is just about done with a gateway site here in Wallius, after which I can send it elsewhere. And I need to get back to doing orbital rings on worlds that need them. I've got one constructing here in Doran. Dawnlight could use an orbital ring, but not really so much for habitation districts right now. Fincastle could use 4 habitation districts to pick up the last agriculture, but again, that's not that critical. Plus, I still haven't even done Mastery of Nature here. That would add, I could get all 4 of these and 2 more industrial districts with a Mastery of Nature. Mendos, that would give me more agricultural districts. Food's not really that critical. I'm more interested in places that are going to need something like minerals. Or in this case, this one could use it to pick up its last 4 generator districts. So I think Destiny is where we're going to send that one next. So as soon as this one finishes there, I'm going to send them to Destiny. Now that I've got that, I will be going through and seeing if any of my ships need reinforcement, or any of my fleets do need reinforcements queued up. However, since I do have several fleets that are already made up and heading that way for different fleets as their reinforcements, I'm holding off on that until I get these taken care of for the most part. Like, okay, Pegasus, for example. Actually, I think I ended up dropping their capacity. Yeah, I ended up dropping their capacity so that the reinforcements wouldn't be duplicated when I said reinforced fleet, but they don't have the capacity to do it. Strike Force Medusa, I think I did likewise with, because it's listed as, no, it's missing a Corvette, 6 destroyers and a cruiser, and all of that is fairly recent. This was up to full strength, I believe. Now, I will have some spare Corvettes in, like, Garuda when it has done with its deliveries. But again, I'm going to hold off on worrying about this part, and then I'm supposed to look at my energy credits and see if I need to buy anything. In this particular case, I'm going to buy some alloys to get me below 100k. And I still have about 80 influence. I could go through and see if any of my spies need to do anything. We're still building back up here in United Nations of Earth. We're preparing sleeper cells there. As soon as that is done, I can actually do another project here. And the Star Realms of Shar, I could actually start preparing sleeper cells here. That really won't set me back any. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Commence when ready. And start getting some sleeper cells set up here, so if I need to pull this guy out for some other reason, he's available. Although that is setting back me getting my influence built up to do things like arcology projects. We're getting closer here. If I were to call in favors... Oh, it looks like the 2 that I have the most favors with are already on my side. So I could only call in about 20k worth of favors, which is not enough. Now, in order to end the session, I'd need 4 months is how long it would take for me to build up what I need to end the session. It's about 125. I want this one to fail, so I probably shouldn't have done that spy network or that sleeper cells right now, and should have allowed this to bank up to about 250 in case I need it. That's maybe what I end up doing, is holding off on spending for any of my construction until I have a minimum of 250 so that I can keep an eye on this and see if I need to tweak it and make it fail. But that's pretty much it. Now normally I would take a smoke break right before I got back into recording after I've done all my maintenance. So I'm going to pause the recording here and come back to it. In January and July, there's a little bit more to my maintenance cycle in that I try to go through the contacts, especially my vassals, to see if any need modification. I will worry about all of these in January, but just to keep an eye on them, see if I need to alter any deals or something to keep things from going negative. And to see if there's anybody I can do any sort of interactions with. Now, I will check 451. So it is gradually going down, and relative power of subjects is gradually dwindling. It was as high as negative 55 at one point, but as my fleet is building back up to capacity, that's dwindling, so that helps with the modifier. And of course we are improving relations. It says we're going up 0.75 a month. Why 0.75 instead of 0.25? Because I have an embassy with them. I do not have an embassy with some of the others I'm struggling with. That's the problem, is they dropped their embassies, such as the Latrepians. Yeah, with them I'm only going up 0.25 a month because we do not have an embassy. Now our trust is not declining, at least. It has built up to cap. But they have no interest in me establishing an embassy because of their disloyal attitude. So until I can somehow tweak this to where they start getting positive, and it looks like it wouldn't take but about 4 more points of opinion to do that, but it's going to be going down faster than it's going up, I think, because it's going down half a point per month and it's only coming up 2 points a year. 4 months undoes that. And it ends up going down 0.25 a month. So in a full year, that would be 3 points it goes down. It's only going up 2 points, so it's losing a point a year unless I keep maxing out favorable trade deal. I could jump it up 10 more points right now by giving him a small favorable trade deal. But that, again, that's something I'll worry about in January. As soon as I can get them positive to where they're climbing, if I can get them out of the negatives, then they will stop harming relations. That one will end up fading, and we can start getting them positive again. Now over here, I'm about ready to merge these fleets. And so I don't lose the names, I'm going to merge them in a different manner. So I need to find Dragon. And this fleet that's coming up that's going to be part of Dragon. And as soon as they get in the same location,
Ships refitted.
I will just drag up these frigates, transfer them all, and then drag up these corvettes and transfer them all. So now Dragon should be at full strength again. And I can get rid of Strike Force Garuda because it has served its purpose. Strike Force Gorgon is now fully refitted. Now it has, with the procession of Zut, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually easier way to look up, 7 or 20 Gorgon's Claw corvettes coming. So it's going to have all of its Gorgon's Claws that it is down. If I go into Fleet Manager, I can actually drop its corvettes down, but it's got no frigates incoming that I am aware of. I don't think I have any Gorgon's Breath frigates out there in any of these partial fleets. Yeah, that one's for Hippogriff. That one is for Pegasus. So yes, I have no frigates coming up. So I could actually reinforce this one's frigates. And I just want them built here at Deneb. And I only need about 4 more queued up. So we'll just do 8 starting out. Made another one decloak. And I'm willing to bet he's entering orbit. That's in the Miravandian Coalition. Why did I decloak them? That's not my territory. We have a new proposal. Personal oversight. While some states have admittedly experienced degradation of their sovereignty, our efforts to eliminate bureaucratic red tape have vastly improved the efficiency of the Senate. This is one I want. Support, not oppose. Because this one gives another max holding for free. Well, not for free. It's for 1.5 monthly loyalty change. So it's going to end up being, I think, another 0.75 monthly loyalty change, if that much, because that monthly loyalty change is taking into account the monthly loyalty change from the previous ones. If we look at bureaucratic surveillance, that one was 0.25. This one added another 0.5, I think, to be a total of 0.75. And that one will add another 0.75, which is cheaper than the cost of having a holding by itself. Because if we look at the modifiers here, yeah, it's only 0.5 for borderless authority, so that the grand total was 0.75. But if we look at terms negotiation, the cost for having a holding is 1 full point. So that'll save me 0.25 monthly loyalty change on everybody, and give them an extra holding if I don't already have, when I establish new ones. So that is one I do want to support. And I forgot I should have been saving up for freeze anyway, or for council veto on this one. But I have several years before I have to worry about it. Yeah, I would need less to freeze it than I would to veto it. So yes, I do need to build up to 250 again and try and keep that reserve. Now I'm still waiting on Medusa to get over here, which is going to take another 2 months, so it'll be in January before I send all 3 of these in to take on that starbase.
Battle debris secured.
A little bit more progress toward dark matter propulsion. Soran combined clans have declared Glosswerhenians their rival. United Latrepians broke their migration treaty with the Reshethian state. Oh, it's got support again. Yeah, they're not in my borders. I can't do anything about the fact they keep trying to recloak. I have chemist jobs that aren't being worked that could take care of that deficit of volatile motes I'm currently getting. Got another operative resurfaces in the Allied Multics. Let's ready an extraction team.
New sitrep.
For some reason, I believed integration permitted was not a valid term of agreement when you had feudal society, but that's not showing on here. It's just expansion prohibited, do not join wars, and limited diplomacy. Because I have several agreements out there. One of them is to switch the autocracy of Rakaron to where I can integrate them, because they are one of the ones that are lowest in loyalty. If I can integrate them, that will do away with one of the problems, and I will just be juggling with United Latrepians mainly. And then I can start integrating these others to get them out, rather than thinking of releasing them and reconquering. Just integrate them. I've had them for at least 10 years. Molyneux will probably be the next one I do after the Kel Nudarans. And now everybody here should be in position. And I actually want Zarkland's Pilgrims to be the ones leading the charge here. They're the fastest anyway. And we are going to go take the starbase. The gateway in the Wallius system is now in place. I can begin upgrading this gateway site. It will take 5 years, and then Wallius will finally have a gateway. Gave 40 dark matter to the United Latrepians to max out their favorable trade deal. Praku Interstellar Nation declared us their rival.
Engaging enemy station.
Decloaked another ship outside our borders. I gave a whole bunch of consumer goods to the Great Human Empire for a pledge of loyalty, and to max out their favorable trade deal. Looks like Strike Force Pegasus engaged first. Apparently my ship entered in here. I didn't want the science ship going in. Get back out of there. And I gave 350 dark matter to the Molyneux Mining Industries to max out their loyalty. It was getting low. Gave 50 dark matter to the Autocracy of Rakaron to max out their favorable trade deal. And once again, this was a false lead. Blank gains a meticulous trait. I had no leader over there, so nobody gained it. But meticulous doesn't really do anything for spies, I don't think. Autocracy of Rakaron renegotiated their deal, so I am now permitted to integrate. I dropped the research and increased the resources, actually, to make it cheaper. It was only like 50 influence to do this. Now, we are going to lose a little bit of taxes, but we will gain it in what the planets are actually producing. Now, since we have renegotiated that deal, this will take 151 months to integrate them. Now, that is over 10 years. But at the end of that time, the Autocracy of Rakaron will be no more. So we've just got to maintain their loyalty until then. Looks like we lost one of the ships in that fleet. We booted a ship out of Raprix. Felnull broke off the research agreement with the Praku Interstellar Nation, and we have a new proposal. Comfort the Fallen. I'm opposed to that. Soran are the one proposing this one. We have confidence waivers in the Star Realms of Shar. 50% chance of unwavering insight, so we'll do that. We flipped this system. Strike Force Medusa lost some corvettes and another destroyer. We did lose one of the escorts from Zarkland's Pilgrims. And Dragon lost a destroyer and several corvettes. Pegasus also lost a destroyer and a frigate. It says we didn't blow up any outpost. We blew up all three. So we will park here for repairs. Let's check the progress of our bombardment over here. I've had the Juggernaut bombarding. Now that we have some more corvettes that are down, I am not able to reinforce this fleet because I cannot build zealot classes. So I might as well drop the required amount down. Now Medusa needs 6 corvettes. And I need 11 here. And I do believe I have 11 corvettes that are going to be spared here with the procession. So as soon as they transform the 9 Gorgon's Claws out, they can retrofit the rest into Dragon. Our Amoeba and our Marauder missiles, everything got through their point defense. As for their point defense, missiles did get through. And again, I am not seeing any missiles actually doing damage to shields. So I'm wondering how effective my shield hardening actually is. We got Unwavering Insight. That reduces difficulty for 3 years.
Our pioneers have made planetfall. Construction complete.
I believe there was nothing else to queue up at these star bases. Jenna Station, yeah, it is full. Basically all I did was put the climate optimization station there. This one I built the last orbital anchorage. And same for Camelot, also built an orbital anchorage. There was nothing else I could queue up there.
New species variant available.
I did have one human that wasn't modified over. I had to swap. That way he doesn't breed. I wish I could discourage breeding for subspecies of humans. We should be able to create subspecies of our own species that are infertile. Because I would like to make sure that cyborg doesn't breed. Besides, you can't really be born cybernetic, can you? That's something that has to be added later in life. United Nations of Earth is in a migration treaty with the hierarchy of Moffith.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Doctrine, Armada Battle Formation. Gradual adaptation to the realities of deep space combat allows us to effectively coordinate larger maneuvers. And we could add 10 more fleet command limit. That should get us up to 200, I think. Let's go ahead and knock out the final fleet command limit. That will take 4 years. United Latrepian Domains broke their migration treaty with the Veteresians. We've once again decloaked somebody not in our borders. Democratic Glarian Union is in a migration treaty with the United Nations of Earth. And Strike Force Medusa is fully repaired.
Ships refitted.
These wormlings have been refitted, so I can send them down here to merge with Dragon. It'll only take about a month and a half for them to get down here. And I started, instead of reinforcing through the fleet manager, what I have been doing is actually having my star bases, since right now I have to move over here, I don't want ships in transit. I've actually gone to my shipyards and manually queued up building certain things that I will send, that will generate it as a new fleet, and I will send them out to merge up. Dragon is now fully repaired. Yeah, I dropped the count of the wormlings because I had 11 coming, and anything else I start building I will be dropping the count of. Strike Force Pegasus has been fully repaired. That means everybody here is fully repaired. So we are going to go ahead and hit this last star base. Which means I need to redirect the procession of Zool. Actually, since they'll be here in about a month, let's hold up and wait until our reinforcements get here. We'll just wait right here until they arrive. I can recloak and send him to do active reconnaissance in Bragatha. We've established the sleeper cells with the hierarchy of Mothith. Now I decided what I'm going to do is have one operative hop between two locations. So this one will handle the hierarchy of Mothith and the allied Multics. Now I believe we already have full favors with the hierarchy of Mothith currently. No, apparently we don't have any. Let's check the Multics. They need their spy network increased a little bit, so we will jump him over there. We have one favor with them. That's manipulation and diplomacy. We don't have anybody who's really good at that. So let's go ahead and see about acquiring another asset. I know this will weight him towards subterfuge. Subterfuge or military. Yep, we keep decloaking that guy who's just out of our territory. Every 4 months he's going to try and recloak. Another reinforcement has jumped in. Now I should be close enough to merge these groups. Where's Dragon? Let's have both of these get somewhere where they can meet up. Right there. Looks like a halfway point. And I can go ahead and send Pegasus on through. And the Pilgrims. Now these two should be close enough. I can add this destroyer. And that was Strike Force Minotaur. I generated them at my Juggernaut. So now Dragon's up to full. I know I want to use 16 for yet another Titan for this, because I will be getting another Titan when my naval capacity goes up 2 points. And I'll be getting 10 more points, so I can use all but 6 right now. So I have 2 more points I can use. See, instead of getting more frigates, I could get 2 more destroyers, and then that would allow me to get 1 more Elder Worm. Oh, I have 10 more points to play with, that's right. Yeah, I can go up to 86. So I've got 8 more points I can play with. I could get another battleship, along with the other Titan. I don't know why that just popped up. It looked like the Xbox button on my controller. It's sitting on a desk. Alright, so I need 3 more destroyers and 2 more frigates. Let's go over to the Doomsday. That's good. I can get 1 more Wyvern when those 2 are done. And I'll probably end up needing more reinforcements anyway. But we're going to head on with all of these. Let's just select them this way. Oh, we have 1 in transit. There we go. These and Medusa. We'll get in position here. It looks like it's going to take 2 more months, so in October is when they'll be
Ships
ready
refitted.
to head in. Alright, Hippogriff should now be up to its old full strength as soon as I transfer these ships over. Now I need one more cruiser and 2 more battleships, but I do not have the materials to build them just yet. I'll just leave Hippogriff here at this station, but I can get rid of that other fleet that was temporary. I believe that was Cortege of Zuid. We have another proposal. Repeal minor administrative sanctions by the Veteresians. Let's oppose that. I can freeze this project for only 150, and it takes about 225 to veto it. Of course, if I veto it, somebody else is just going to repropose it. Right now, we're still in session for another 2 years. I don't have to worry about it until that's close to ending.
We have claimed a new world.
United Latrepians built another gateway. And we have established the colony of Agartha, which is going to be another one of our refinery stations. Alright, everyone's in position. Time for them to all jump through.
Fleet action underway.
Autocracy of Rakaron has entered a migration treaty with the United Nations of Earth. Is that going to fail? Why can't I end the session? More than half the time has passed. Oh no, I need 20 more days. We established sleeper cells in the star realm of Shar. We once again decloaked a couple in systems we don't control. I'll look at that migration treaty in a second. I'm trying to time this just right. Yes, it will currently fail. I don't know if I want to risk another 2 years of this. Now the problem is I don't have the influence to both freeze or veto that and do this. But we are going to end this session. Autocracy of Rakaron has broken its migration treaty with the Veteresians. Now we have lost some ships here, and we'll probably end up losing more. They had a lot of outposts, Devastator class outposts we had to tear down. But I believe we are overall going to win this fight. They have a lot of hull compared to us, but we had a lot more firepower. We've actually got their firepower down to under 200. And our ships combined is 160, huh? I thought we had more fleets here. We've actually lost both of the escorts with Zarkland's pilgrims. And for some reason they're shooting at the transports. We did blow up one constructor and get even more progress toward dark matter thrusters. Looks like we got both constructors. We got an influential Multics professional from the Allied Multics. So we have another subterfuge. and a robot economist. Now that's odd considering how I'm against robots, that we actually turned a robot. But that will work. We'll let this build back up before we do something else. I think, yeah, we'll need to prepare sleeper cells again here in about 5 months. This war is not going, or this battle is not going well. We took out quite a few of their defense platforms, but not enough. We actually have a new first encounter. The Foxtrot bogies in the Seolea system. It's another enclave. Well, let's pull one out of the galactic community for this. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot to do something January 1st. I was going to make sure that they couldn't emergency measure this by emergency measuring something else. Now this is going to put a bit of a delay on when we get the next one. I'm trying to think, which one do I want? Personal oversight. Federation League declared us their rival. Soran combined clans broke their migration treaty with the Federicians. One of my fleets has fled or been destroyed. Zarklin's Pilgrims fled. They did take out one transport ship, it says. I think they did more than that. Another one of my fleets has fled. Strike Force Medusa took heavy losses and withdrew. They still have the battleship and 2 Titans. They took out one of the outposts, a constructor, a transport ship, half of this other fleet, and another constructor, and made one constructor flee.
Fleet lost.
One of my fleets was completely obliterated. That might have been Pegasus. I don't get to see which one it was. No, Pegasus withdrew. Dragon is the only one left. Looks like it may have lost a Titan. I'm going to go ahead and retreat with them. We lost another ship. Yeah, we did lose one of our Titans and most of the rest of our fleet. So this fight was a lot uglier than I was expecting. They have 3 outposts left. We need to build back up to be able to push and take that one out. So Pegasus, Dragon, and Zarklin's Pilgrims. It looks like Medusa is the one that was destroyed. Yes, Medusa was completely destroyed. Well, we have some ships here for Medusa already built. Let's have this start building Medusa again, and we'll have that fleet merge with it. I want one ship churned out at Marik, damn it. Well, I guess any location will work. We'll do one Serpentine lock at Wallia Station to create this fleet again, and then send this fleet back to Marik. Why they're not building them at Marik, I don't understand, since Marik is listed as its home base. Now the Doomsday was building reinforcements for... Let's have them merge. Was building reinforcements for Dragon, so we will send them to Dragon's home, which I believe is Shaula. So Dragon will be back in 4 months. Pegasus will be back in 4 months. And Zarklin's Pilgrims will be back in 2. We are going to relocate the Palpatine to Deneb. Now I do have other fleets that are fine. Scylla is at full strength. Hippogriff is in the middle of reinforcing. It needed battleships and a cruiser. And Gorgon was also missing a few ships they are currently churning out. So I'm not completely without defenses. I even have the Fortress Legionnaires still. But that did do quite a number on my naval capacity. I lost about 200 capacity. Sauran combined clans are no longer guaranteeing the independence of the Federician League. United Nations of Earth built a Dyson Sphere. Phonetic activity in the Krakow system betrays the construction of a Dyson Sphere by the United Nations of Earth. Still in its early stages, the completed sphere will eventually blot out the light of Krakow, its radiance diverting to human energy stores. Well, they picked the right system for it, one that was nothing but asteroids. Now we do have 2 sets of debris there in Hrazatan. Why my allies are not pushing here, I don't understand. Looks like they're just bombarding planets. Now there was one other thing I needed to check before I progressed onward. Ah yes, the Federicians, since the Sauran are no longer guaranteeing their independence. They still have the Star Realms of Shar and the Fel Null in a defensive pact with them, as well as the Democratic Clearing Union. So it would still be a pretty ugly war, though I could vassalize them. Of course, now that I have a Colossus, I can simply do total war and not worry about vassalization or making claims and just conquer every system that I come across. However, that will generate a lot of threat that will turn neighbors against me. But at this point, I don't care.
Spaceport reports enemy contact.
Coalition declared us their rival. Spaceport, huh? I don't see any of these spaceports. Unless I flipped one thing in this system, I don't see any. So whatever enemy contact I had probably immediately blew up, unless there are some hostiles in territory I control. Where are you headed? Flaxington. Okay. No, I'm not seeing the spaceport that saw enemy contact. It must have immediately been vaporized or run away. We have a new proposal. Repeal regulated growth. Though it is natural for empires to demand their borders be respected, the directives enforced by the galactic community have become overbearing and stifling. To ensure a smoothly functioning bureaucracy, it is time to cut back on some of these mandates. Star Realms of Shar want that. I'm opposed to that because regulated growth is the one that is giving me a boost to monthly loyalty. Now, eventually I will no longer care about that as I get rid of more of my vassals, but in the meantime I need that monthly loyalty boost because a lot of my vassals are struggling. Autocracy of Rakaron is hideously unloyal, but hopefully we can maintain control over them until they are completely absorbed in 10 years. Okay, they wanted to call this Strike Force Manticore, but this was Strike Force Medusa. So now we can send it back to Marik and pick up a new admiral. Gale speed. And once Medusa gets over here, we will merge with what is Centaur and be able to start reinforcing. Oh, back in February, I think it was, I was eligible here to re-prepare sleeper cells. And here in the Allied Multics, that will become available by July. Now, honestly, I don't care if this passes or fails at this point. It will help a little bit if it passes, but I'm not going to spend a lot of influence on it. I've mainly got that in there until I can deal with this. And I plan on vetoing that. I could do it next month. Though a freeze is a little bit more expensive, but it keeps people from re-proposing it, and I clicked on the wrong one anyway. It's that one. Yeah, it's cheaper to freeze it than to veto it. And I've got about 12 years left on my term. It's going to be difficult to pass remove the term limit. Coptilium Archivists closed their borders to us. And yes, this is an enclave. We've gotten the first stage for it. We have guaranteed breakthrough on the next stage, which I believe will be the final one. So in about 3 months.
Construction complete.
I finished upgrading Raprick Station. It has a fleet academy and a crew quarters. Let's give it also a Titan assembly yard. Speaking of Titans, let's go to Shaula Station. I'd already started building one Titan because I was going to eventually need it and I knew it was going to take a while. Can I afford to start replacing the other Titan yet? No, I'm down in alloys. There we go. We can have both Titans being built because they do take a long time. They take over 3 years. Almost 4. I don't know why they popped back up here since their home base is the Doomsday. But we are going to move them to the Doomsday. And after repairs, we'll have it start assisting in the bombardment. Once we get this final planet, we could at least pursue a status quo. I was just trying to knock out their ability to build reinforcements while we were bombarding this planet. The Great Huron Hierarchy has embraced the National Wealth Lobby and become more pacifistic. Rishethian State declared us their rival.
Construction complete.
Wallia Station finished its Deep Space Black Site. And Flaxington Station finished its last habitation module. So I should have an additional district I can build on Flaxington. We completed the orbital ring in the Obashoth system. That would be the one around Doran. And we keep decloaking things Well, these we've made go missing in action because they were actually in our territory. After successfully translating their language, we've established communications with the independent space station of the Artisan Troop.
Permanent communications have been established with an alien empire.
A visitor! This is a joyous occasion indeed. Oh, forgive my manners. I believe introductions are in order. We are the Artisan Troop. Our members have dedicated their lives to the pursuit of art, music, culture, and all other things that make existence bearable to a sapient being. Please, if you would like to share in the wonder of our creations, do not hesitate to contact us. Yeah, whatever, dudes. Not interested in alien artwork. Now, since we have this new place around Doran, we do need habitation modules here. I will start construction of one so we can expand our agriculture. What's the Mahogany Fleet doing? Ah, they're going to assist with the bombardment. Because this is the only planet we really need to take. Pegasus has been fully repaired. And I do have some reinforcements from Pegasus here. I'm going to have to wait until the upgrades of the last 3 are done, really, before merging, I think. However, if they aren't currently queued up, yeah, it is in the process of upgrading 1. So one of these is partially upgraded, and that would just leave 2 more that need to upgrade. Of course, my main bottleneck there is is minor artifacts. Okay, that envoy is available again. I'm going to stick him back in the galactic community. Terraforming complications. Our long project on Nagrama has frustratingly ended in a partial success. As the final valleys were undergoing terramorphing, a malfunction occurred in the biomass realigner, leading to the creation of large swaths of terraforming residue. While not dangerous to our colonists, it means that the planet is a bit more cramped for the time being. Don't let this happen again. So we did end up with some blockers, terraforming residue. Results of a partially successful terraforming project have created areas of strange biological abominations. Yeah, they're fairly cheap to get rid of. But now this is a continental world. Now that does mean in order to expand the agricultural districts, I am going to need to clear this terraforming residue. Because we're already over the limit on districts, it appears. So let's go ahead and queue up clearing 1 of them. And let's actually start clearing them before we finish this other agricultural district. Let's get it up to where it's at least 0. So Nagrama is now continental. Jotunheim is now continental. And Ferdera is now continental. That just leaves 1 world, our newest one, Jenna, to convert. And we've got less than a year before we finish this stage of the Sentry Array. Of course, we don't have near enough alloys to work on the next stage right now, because I have been rebuilding so many ships. Strike Force Dragon is now fully repaired. And they also have ships in the vicinity to add to their fleet. So it is missing a handful of worms and wormlings, as well as 1 of its titans and destroyers. It's going to be fairly easy to replace. It's currently building the 2 titans. But it's going to cost me a lot of alloys to get all of these churned back out. Federician League has embraced the Council of Scientific Ascendants and become more materialist. Soran combined clans are guaranteeing their independence again. Soran has declared us their rival. They've come a long way from being friendly to us. If you want to play that game, you're one of the ones I need to tear down. It's the Hierarchy of Moffith, the Star Realm of Shar, Interstellar Pricarians, and Allied Multics are the three top ones. Yeah, they're equivalent to us. Their value is 6192. Their base weight is only about 48. My base weight is higher than their effective. So yeah, they've fallen quite a ways from when they were the top one. But they're still listed as the top one score-wise. They just have very little diplomatic weight. But yeah, Soran, Star Realms of Shar, and the Glosterhenians are three I need to tear apart to be able to get up to rank 1. Glosterhenians is the one I'm going to work on next. We've still got 11 years left for integrating the autocracy of Rakaron, so it will happen in October of 2435. Oh, the Pilgrims repaired without letting me know. Let's have them assist in the bombardment here. And Gorgon is almost here. Hierarchy of Moffith is in a migration treaty with the Soran. Soran are in a commercial pact with the Interstellar Pricarian Coalition. We've established sleeper cells with the Multics. We'll go ahead and use up our economist just to make this last 30 years.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Neutron sweeping. An accelerated plume of neutron radiation paints the planet's surface, severely degrading most materials and directly destroying biological tissue. Let's go ahead and research the dark matter detection. We also got matter compression. Compressing suitable materials into ultra-dense form is a cheap and efficient way to improve the ability to absorb weapons-grade impacts. Now we should get that with the last two debris when we can research them. So I think we'll knock out planetary build speed. It'll take about 3 years. As soon as we can conquer this planet, we could do a status quo, if nothing else, and end this war and be able to peacefully go in and do those two debris. And now that we have more people bombarding this, it should be dropping fairly fast. Large contingent of veterans has sent a letter requesting leave to travel to the colony of Citadel. We had this earlier for the Miravandians, I think. We'll give them our formal leave to travel. Citadel is one of our better subjects. And it has been another 5 years. So thank you all for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time.